Looking for excitement? Chumba Casino is here. Play anytime, play anywhere. Play on the train, play at the store, play at home, play when you're bored. Play today for your chance to win and get daily bonuses when you log in. So what are you waiting for? Don't delay. Chumba Casino is free to play.
Experience social gameplay like never before. Go to Chumba Casino right now to play hundreds of games, including online slots, bingo, Slingo, and more. Live the Chumba life at ChumbaCasino.com. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Cinesmack contains spoilers of the spoiling type. If you don't want your spoilers spoiled, please turn back now. Otherwise, enjoy the show!
Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Ladies and gentlemen! Welcome to the main event! This is Cinesmack! And the winner is...
Hello, Cinesmacketeers, and welcome to bout number 120 of Cinesmack, the podcast about films by filmmakers. I am your host, Mike Keeler. Joining me tonight is our panel of award-winning judges. First, filmmaker and owner of Arizona Ink Studios, Andrew. Dressed like that, you look like a massive C word, Zumwalt.
It's the zombie apocalypse. Come on, we're scouts. We are trained for this.
Second, filmmaker and owner of Cheshire Moon Films, Tom. Don't worry, mommy, daddy's here, Haggis.
I'm gonna kind of disengage a little bit and not say a lot because it did take me an hour to find this gum.
Third, filmmaker and owner of One Genome Short Productions, Gabriel. We can't hang out anymore. You're too sad. You've hit like peak sad. Rowald.
Judging from the sounds, he's going to need like 2 more minutes and he'll be back to his normal.
Oh, that was quick.
That's good. Okay, hey guys. How's it going? I'm ready now.
The zombies are coming.
Fourth, writer, actor, and director Kyle. I think it's possible, Ben. A dead stripper just tried to eat my face. Fine.
Hey, everybody. I just forgot my intro. Just being honest. I had it, and I was thinking about it while you guys were talking, and I totally fucking forgot it.
Welcome to middle age.
Hello, everybody.
Sorry to distract you, Kyle.
It's okay. Yeah, it might have been your sexy zombie noises that got me.
Right.
Wow.
Andrew was
Episode's
going to
already
say
up the rails.
It's a good start.
All right, let's poke the monkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, zombie hunters alike, welcome to the main event. Tonight, 2 zombie fights of 2 different styles will face off to defeat the horde with musical numbers or earn a zombie merit badge. Who is destined to become part of the undead? In the first corner, from 2017, written by Alan McDonald and Ryan McHenry, directed by John McPhail, starring Ella Hunt, Malcolm Cumming, Sarah Swire, Christopher LeBeau, Marley Seal, and Ben Wiggins. Anna and the Apocalypse! In the second corner, from 2015, written by Lona Williams, Carrie Lee Wilson, and Emi Machizuki. Directed by Christopher Landon. Starring Ty Sheridan, Logan Miller, Joey Morgan, Sarah Dumont, David Ketchner, Austin Sage, and Cloris Leachman. Scout's Guide to the Zombie
I've been actually wanting to watch both of these movies for a while, so I'm glad they were on our list. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about it. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did as well. So let's start it off with our first round, which is writing.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I have never seen either of these movies, so this is the first time I've seen them in preparation for this episode. And, it's amazing to me that the zombie genre and the zombie trope is still so popular, and that people are still riffing on this whole idea, and that that people will still continue to go see these things, because it on one hand you feel like, well, this has all been done before. We've all seen the zombie thing before, but it's kind of fun that it has such longevity. And I don't know, maybe you guys will have some insight on how, why that is. Like, why are we still making zombie movies after all this time? And what new things can we bring to this genre and still respect the history of it? But to get on to the writing part of it, I have very strong feelings on the writing part of these two movies. I'm just going to lay it out. I think Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse is easily superior to Anna and the Apocalypse.
You're out of your mind.
No,
Controversial.
There are things that I was a little bit disappointed with in Scout's Guide. Yeah. No, I thought the character development was better. I cared more about these characters. I thought the characters were more detailed and nuanced. I thought the dialogue was better. There were a few things where it's like, yeah, no, seriously. I thought, it's like, there were a few things that I was like, okay, well, this is a little bit kind of the whole teenage, sex angst kind of thing going on a little bit too much, where the one zombie's boobs become exposed and the kid has to grab them. That's a little too much for me.
A little.
Come on. I know that there are guys in my friend group. I know that guy. I know the guy that would do that in a heartbeat.
But that's what I'm talking about, though. Those characters were more believable and real and more three-dimensional than what I found in Anna and the Apocalypse. And it's a little bit weird for us to be mixing a kind of a regular movie and a musical, because in the past we've done kind of a musical against a musical, and we talk about the songs in the writing part of it. And with Anna and the Apocalypse, I felt like they had opportunity there, but I felt like the songs weren't that strong, and the characters weren't that well developed. And I didn't even why is it named Anna in the Apocalypse? Because who is Anna, and why do we care? Because there wasn't too much to her.
She's the main character.
She's the main character. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. She's the main character, and who was she, and why was she so important? She didn't really do anything to change the outcome of the story, and she was just kind of there. And I just was a little bit let down. I love the idea. The concept of a zombie musical is fantastic.
Who's Shaun in Shaun of the Dead? Who's that guy?
Are you kidding me?
He's just a guy.
Are you kidding me?
No. He's just a guy, though. Like
he is, but he actually changes the outcome of the whole thing. He goes and saves his friends.
So does Anna.
Not really. What does she do? Her friend sacrifices himself so she doesn't die. But what does she do? She whacks a few zombies with a candy cane, and that's it. And why do we care about her? Why do we care if she lives or dies? We don't. And why do we care her best friend, who's just all forlorn for her? When he sacrifices himself, it seems a little empty to me. It's just kind of like, well, that's kind of the trope. That's kind of the expectation, is that someone's... And no, seriously, Tom, I see you. I can see you.
I know you can. I know you can.
And it's true, and you know it because
I don't.
And why do we care about the jock dude in Anna? Because there's no depth to him. At one point, he says, "I had to kill my dad." Okay, fine, but it's just like that doesn't. It just doesn't round out that character. I don't care about those characters. Whereas in the Scout's Guide, I felt more strongly for these characters, and the writing was more entertaining. And if Anna had some really catchy tunes, maybe I would be all for it. There was only one song that I was like, "Oh, that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool." But that was it. I was like, none of these songs have a hook or a catch. It seemed like a lot of potential that was kind of wasted to me.
Wow. Controversial out of the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll bite. I thought Scout's Guide kind of sucked. I thought that like you said, the zombie thing's been done to death and it won't die. And the problem, and obviously the reason we do it is because it's fun to do the makeup, and scaring people is easy, because fear is such like a basic human emotion. And those numbers are distracting me. So the problem I have is that I felt like Scout's Guide didn't bring anything new to the table. It was just like maximum gross out. And it was like if nobody held back the Farrelly brothers and they did a zombie movie. And it's just like,
zombie cats. Come on, that was new.
No, the zombie cats. I mean, everything was just stupid. And why didn't
the zombie cats were funny?
Dude, when the old lady, I can't believe I'm going to say the sentence. When the old lady bites his butt, why didn't he turn into a zombie?
Well, and I'll tell you the thing. Her teeth. She was gumming him. Her teeth fell out.
But he was bleeding and stuff.
And I don't know. It looked like a bruise to me. I don't know. I didn't get a close look at his ass, but.
All right. So.
Oh yeah, you did.
I paused it. Fine.
I've got other things.
Bruise.
I've got other. I mean, there's other.
Cloris Leachman.
So let's talk.
Our very own Iowa favorite.
We're going to talk about story. We'll talk about the story then. I just felt like Scott's Guide it didn't seem to know where it was going, and just like they didn't really seem to have an objective. They're trying to get to the party, and I don't know. And
how did Anna and the Apocalypse end? It just ended.
Talk
about no objective. It just ended.
All zombie movies end that way. All of them end that way.
No, not all of them. Some of them actually have a kind of a conclusion. But that one just ended. I'm like, what happened? We don't even know what happened to her dad. I mean, we can assume
maybe that's
what happened. And, it's like, what happened? There was nothing happened.
The movie tells you that it's going to end without a Hollywood ending.
That is true. I'll give you that. And I'm okay with non-Hollywood endings, but I prefer an ending. And there just was none, Hollywood or otherwise.
This movie had a very bittersweet ending. I think it played too much. I think it takes too. If I had any criticism, it would be that it takes too much from Shaun of the Dead, where it wants to have those melodramatic moments involving family members, and it almost comes out of the blue sometimes in a way that works in Shaun of the Dead. And I felt like it was a little bit borrowed in this movie. But I disagree with you about the songs. I think the songs were fairly strong. A couple of them were not my favorite. I especially think the Top of My Class and Kicking Ass song was kind of annoying to me. Yeah. But the Hollywood ending is a fucking jam. That is a catchy goddamn song. And I thought it was great. The choreography was great. It was put really well together. And I really dug that musical performance. Zombie Guide to the Apocalypse felt like they had a lot of set pieces and funny gags they wanted to do, and they kind of had to stretch a narrative between it, like that old man's penis. He was trying to stretch and stretch.
I wasn't a fan of that either. Some of it was just a little bit too much like American Pie with zombies.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
The Farrelly brothers.
Some of it, that's all of it. Some of it. There were.
And here's
I was disappointed with.
So here's the thing. When I watch a zombie movie, there's expectations. I go into it and I'm just like, in fact, this is overall. I'll talk about this later. But I don't know. Story-wise, the thing I like about the music is I'm watching this and I know there's zombies coming up and I'm watching this musical. I'm like, wow, this music is this is doing all right. All right, it's not annoying high school Disney musical stuff and the choreography is pretty good. What the hell happens when the zombies show up? And I will give you that when the zombies show up, there's that scene where they're walking down the street and she's oblivious to it, which is really hilarious. But then once they know the zombies are here, all of the zombie and musical stuff that collides doesn't go over as well. Like all of the musical numbers that has after they realize the zombies are there, they weren't as strong as the ones at the beginning. And so you kind of felt like this collision coming with zombies and this musical numbers. And I was like, oh God, this can't be good.
Why did the zombies not get a musical number?
A lot.
The zombies should have had a musical number. If everybody else is doing, singing and dancing, the zombies should be doing the same thing. I missed opportunity, in my opinion.
You said that they pulled stuff from Shaun of the Dead, and you can't. Well, and that's fine though, because one, Shaun of the Dead is a very strong zombie movie. People know it; they think it's funny. And people have borrowed so many scenes from Shaun of the Dead. People have borrowed jokes from Ghostbusters. People have borrowed comedy things from lots of other things. Like that to me is something that, as long as it's not like I directly rip this off, I don't really have a problem with it. Like that was a unique way.
They're fine. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Here's the other thing I'll say too. The UK does zombie movies better, so much better than we do. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yes.
Ours are dark.
Shaun of the Dead, 28 Days Later, Anna and the Apocalypse. The British, and I think it's probably because they live on an island, they have fucking nowhere to go. Like, we know that we can find a cabin in the woods and we'd be okay for a couple of months, but in the UK, it's like we're fucked. Like we have nowhere to go. And so the first thing I look for when I pull up a zombie movie, I'm like, hang on, who made this? And if it's British, I'll give it a chance.
Right. I can agree with that for sure.
The British do a lot better than us. They have cooler accents too. I think my comment about Shaun of the Dead is that them trying to play up because there's a great moment in Shaun of the Dead. I don't know what that means, Mike. Fourth down. I don't understand. Hold up,
you're out of time.
Oh,
but you can finish.
Shaun of the Dead has a wonderful moment in the movie where it all of a sudden becomes serious and real. It's a very funny movie for a long period of time, and then when Sean's mom gets bit and he has to stop someone from killing her, it becomes a very serious moment. And I think Shaun of the Dead does that better than almost any other movie I've seen.
Yes.
But I think Anna and the Apocalypse tried to steal some of that thunder by having the deaths of some of the characters, and some of them felt a little bit arbitrary to me. That's all I'm saying.
That's the way I felt too. It's like we didn't have a strong enough connection to these characters for them to be dying for us to care about. It's like.
But you did the Scouts? That's, I guess. How did you have a connection to the Scouts?
But they didn't do that in the Scouts. They didn't kill off any of the main characters that I cared about in that. So they killed off the Scout leader, but that was kind of funny, because he was kind of coming back over and over and that kind of thing. I just felt like it was like they were trying to like create this emotional connection, but prematurely. Like we didn't know anything about these characters, and we didn't. I don't remember Anna's friends.
John,
the one that sacrifices himself to help her get through that.
John.
Yeah, I don't. It's like. We know that he loves her and everything, but it's like, what do we know about him? Nothing. We don't. I didn't care that he died.
Did you like the thing at the end? Hang on, Mike. Just hang on. Did you like
I'm
the
about
part
to
at the
play
end
you guys off.
When they kind of went through and like they showed that all of even their zombie friends still had like a little tiny slice of humanity hidden in them, and
where he was sitting there and his shirt went.
His lights and the boyfriend girlfriend touched hands, and I mean that they were still.
But like if I felt like an emotional connection when he passed, then I would have I would have felt a little bit more strongly at the end, like, oh well, that's but he was a zombie at the end, and I have emotional connections to very few zombies.
It's just a very weird argument because a lot of movies you start off with, you have no idea the background to any of the characters. And sometimes you do. They did not build, what do you know about the only real character that you know about, is Augie and Scout's Guide. The other two, what do you know about them? You don't know anything about them.
Well, we know that they've been good friends for a long time, and the one is but we know something about their personality.
You know that Anna are going to school. She's getting ready to go to college, and she doesn't actually want to go to college.
For some reason, she doesn't get along with her dad, but we don't really develop that. We don't know why. He's just grumpy in the car.
She's a high school senior. I mean,
yes, it's a traditional high school.
Yeah, no, it's weak. It's just totally weak. Seriously. No, the whole time I was like, these characters are just they're archetypes.
But the horny teenage boys were really deep.
Okay. Nuance or depth to any of these characters.
Jesus Christ, end the round, Mike. End it. Jesus. God.
I didn't realize this was going to be this controversial.
Neither did I.
They're putting the smack in Cinesmack.
I seriously thought it was going to be 16-0. So.
All right.
What the fuck do I?
For what? For Anna?
Yeah.
Not even close.
If
I vote for Anna once, you will be lucky.
Get in your corner, bitch. I heard the bell.
Ding, ding, ding. I'm ready for the next round.
All right.
That's Tom Trash Talk Haggis.
Andrew.
Oh, God.
Oh, you can't vote for the Scouts now.
Well, I didn't pick a side. I'm just pointing out that I'm just counteracting the arguments because it's God damn. I'm gonna go with Anna and the Apocalypse for this one.
All right, Kyle.
With a strong sideways glance at Gabe, I'm gonna vote for Anna and the Apocalypse.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
True.
Tom?
Anna and the Apocalypse. Begrudgingly.
Whatever.
He doesn't mean that.
I don't know what that word means.
Gabe?
I'm going to actually go for the right one, and I'm going to go for Scout's Guide. Give me a break. God, I was so much more entertained with Scout's Guide. It's amazing.
Well, and that's perfectly fine.
This is fantastic.
Get to the other categories because Scout's Guide sucks on every other category.
Let me tell you.
Cinematography? Are you kidding me?
Give
me a break. Cinematography in Scout's Guide was fantastic. Anna was like an amateur.
No, it wasn't.
I want to throw down.
Really? I'm really surprised with you guys. You guys usually have good taste.
Gabe is so disappointed in us.
The reason I picked these,
I know you don't care that I'm disappointed, but
it's because I really enjoy zombie movies, and these were two that fit a zombie genre very well, but are kind of two different versions of the zombie genre that are unique, that pull away. So that's my full disclosure of why I put, to your comment, a musical up against a non-musical, because these were kind of weird, contradicting zombie movies that had the same feel. So that's my full disclosure.
And the best part of Anna for me was that it was actually a musical. Because how many zombie musicals have we ever seen? And I think that's a great idea. For me, it fell a little short.
Yeah, one was. I like the contrast because one was good, and the other one played a grade school AV club who had $24 million to burn.
Right.
Okay.
Anna used their budget.
Hired good actors.
Okay. Mike actually wants to host the show.
The ref is going to have to come around and visit every single one. Well, actually, just Tom and Gabe.
Yeah, I'm being nice.
Yeah. Kyle and Andrew, you guys are good. You can film it.
We're smacking, and now you're bitching about that.
No.
Oh, my God, no.
I didn't realize this was...
I agree. Now, suddenly, I agree with Tom.
Oh, I wish I could. I need to take a picture just to post on the page.
Probably could. Can you grab a screenshot?
Video feature. Awesome.
Here we go. Here it is.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Anna and the Apocalypse closes with a dedication to Ryan McHenry. McHenry, who sadly passed away in 2015, wrote and directed the short film Zombie Musical in 2011, from which this feature film was adapted. Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse is a film. For this film was I was too busy laughing when I wrote this sentence. Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse.
That's a real good hosting.
Thank you. Was featured in the 2010 Blacklist, a list of the most liked unmade scripts of the year.
Which one?
Scout's Guide.
Scout's Guide.
Worse shit.
It was written in 2010. Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
It sucks on paper.
Huh.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It feels very fucking adolescent to me. So anyway, carry on. Perhaps
parts.
I like the acting.
I agree.
Maybe
right.
I like the acting better.
Oh, let's hear that.
Let's move on to our second round, which is acting.
Let's start with the hot topic, Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse. And the vacuum of charisma that is Ty Sheridan. So yeah, I don't like him. I can't help
searching for those words all afternoon.
I can't help it. I don't like him. I don't think he's any good. I think he's got a really nice jaw, and that's probably why he's Cyclops or whatever. And he looks like 10 other actors in Hollywood who are better actors than he is. But as a leading man who is basically a framework to hang this story on, I think he does all right. But I don't think he's a very good actor, in my opinion. Not that I think any of the actors in this movie are particularly strong, with the exception of the cocktail waitress, who she may have some attributes about her that I like more than her acting. Sound like a perverted old man.
Can't disagree with that. Really.
But I will say something we didn't mention in writing is that these movies have two of the greatest named businesses that people work at: Thunderballs, the bowling lane, and Lawrence of Arabia, which is my favorite fake strip club name I've ever heard in my fucking life. That deserves some kind of award. Anyways, to have the balls to name your strip club Lawrence of Arabia, that's amazing. That's just great.
Somebody needs a raise.
No shit.
I saw that. You
know what? It's great. That's the greatest name for a fake strip club I've ever heard. But so Zombie Guide to the Apocalypse they don't have to be particularly great actors. There are not a lot of super emotional moments. There's a lot of action beats and things like that I think they pull off okay. I'd give it like a solid C. But Anna and the Apocalypse, although the acting is not, I wouldn't call it phenomenal. I think some of the turns of these people who are relative unknowns are almost like star making to me. Anna is, I think, a great leading lady, and I know Gabe is just chomping at the bit right now. But I guess someone always earns my respect when they have to act and sing in the same movie. To me, that seems so intimidating and daunting, and to learn all the dance moves. So I'm pretty sure I voted for acting in La La Land because the actors had to deal with that stuff. So I can't ignore it now that it's in Anna and the Apocalypse. I thought they were very brave and just committed to it, even though it was kind of silly at points. And some of the songs I think were not as strong as others. They really went for it, and I give them credit for that. Some of the dubbing was a bit off. I don't know if that goes in acting or not, and there were times, especially when Paul Kaye's character, the headmaster, Savage, was going crazy, that I thought, okay, you're really enjoying the scenery here, because he was just out of his goddamn mind. And that was a bit distracting. And I think they maybe should have picked a different singing voice for him because he was particularly weak in that avenue. But yeah, a lot of the ancillary characters and some of the people who die and we're meant to feel very sad about aren't given a lot of lines. The dad, especially, he has an emotional weight because of who he is in the story, but we don't see him for more than maybe 5 minutes out of the whole movie. And that's kind of a shame because he felt like a decent actor. But the zombies did a pretty good job. You can really hit or miss on zombies and their actions. I think Zombies Guide to the Apocalypse, they did something I never see people do, and that is let them have fat zombies. You like never see those in movies, but you got some fat zombies in Scout's Guide, and they put them up front. So I give them credit for that. Brave choice. But yeah, I mean, overall, I was really impressed by the caliber of the unknown people I didn't know in Anna and the Apocalypse and how they pulled it off. I thought Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse did a very passable job. With one shout out to Blake Anderson in the beginning as the janitor, who I think was really enjoying his work, dancing around and singing that rap song. I thought he did a great job. But yeah, that's my thoughts on him. I hear your guys's.
Well, and I want to say that with Anna and the Apocalypse, once again, you have a bunch of actors who actually can sing and actually dance. And that, to me, for the most part, the main cast actually did their performances. And so, yes, it was dubbed, which if you've ever done a musical, singing live on set is very difficult. Dubbing is normally the easiest way to go. For those who all have been in any of my shoots and done a musical, it's still not easy because you have to lip sync everything and you have to get it lined up, and it's difficult. But the fact that these guys they didn't just have a bunch of people sing these songs and then they just, over mouthed everything. These guys were actually the singers. So they actually knew the song. They actually could put the emotion into it. So that's got to give them a little credit there too. I tell you what, I love David Koechner in Scout's Guide. I thought he's funny. The Dolly Parton scene is, I was just rolling.
Okay. I want to ask you guys, was he motorboating Dolly Parton in that scene? When the
yeah, I think that's implied, right?
Oh yeah, that entire awesome. Scene just cracks me up. I mean, there's some okay actors. Ty is just I don't know what it is about him that it just seems awkward. Like, I thought Logan Miller, his friend Carter, was a much more entertaining character than the way Ty was. Ty was just kind of like, he's the average geeky. I guess someone else said it, the American Pie of the zombie movies. And he just was kind of that weird, goofy, uncomfortable kid that is the stereotype. And I don't know. He just kind of was, for me. But, House and Sage, she's gone on to do other stuff, is a great actress. And to see her in something like this is kind of different than the other stuff that she's done. So it's fascinating to see some of these actors actually perform in a different type of movie. And this was a less of a serious type movie. These were kind of over the top in both categories, but definitely entertaining. You're Blake Anderson. I'm going to second that and give you a +1. That's all I'm going to say, so someone else can talk. I just got I got the hand.
I dominated the last round, so you keep going. You say what you want, Andrew.
No, it's fine. I got the hand again.
Getting the hand. Oh.
I'm flashing you guys how much time we have left. I am doing my job. I'm trying to do my job.
He's getting the hand. You're doing a job, all right. So I thought the acting in Scout's Guide wasn't very good. I didn't think there was anything particularly great about it. It just came off as, when you're doing a zombie movie, there's like certain details that you're just kind of okay with, of getting away with. And Scout's Guide, I don't know. The acting wasn't very good. I'm saving my ammunition for later. I didn't care for it. It just seemed like it didn't bring anything new to the zombie films at all. Really, at all.
Well, if you're talking about acting, are you specifically talking about acting here? Because I would disagree with the fact that it didn't bring anything new.
That Scout's Guide didn't?
Correct. Overall. But if you're talking about acting.
Yes, I'm going to talk about acting first because okay. I got I have a lot to say, and it just doesn't really fit in acting because.
Right.
Shit. All right. I didn't think the acting in Anna and the Apocalypse it wasn't much better, but I don't know. It seemed like they had. I thought the relationships were a little bit more believable, and I don't know. Just like, I don't know, teenage kids trying to get laid during a zombie apocalypse is just so fucking, I don't know. There's a whole bunch in Scout's Guide where I'm like the movie's, 10 years old? Is it that what? 2010? So there was
2015, I think.
2015. So there's shit in Scout's Guide that you couldn't do now. So you're like, yeah, you can't tell a teenage kid to just walk up and start making out with a girl. You can't really do that, you know. It was a good kiss, you know, and they sold the scene, but yeah. So he could also get charged with sexual assault, possibly. So
you could say the same thing about American Pie. You couldn't make movie today either.
I understand. Yeah, I understand.
Are you part of the cancel culture, Tom?
I'm not part of I'm not part of the cancel culture. I'm not getting into that. What I'm just saying is that I don't know. I saw Anna and the Apocalypse first, and I don't like zombie movies because I just feel they're all the same and they're just retreads and they're just the same tropes over and over again. And Anna brought something new to the table, and there was some clumsiness to it, but it was at least brave and different, and it tried, and I thought it nailed the quality, like the production value stuff. It nailed it. And that's always the shit that bothers me on zombie movies. The editing sucks. The directing sucks. The cinematography is usually okay because you get to do cool stuff with dark lights. But Anna was just like, we're going to do this, but we're going to fucking do it well. And what pissed me off, and then I was just like, oh my God, that's great. Because usually when you see a zombie movie, you see, and I started Scout's Guide, I'm like, this is what you typically get with your typical zombie movie. Shitty acting, shitty story, shitty directing, and like fucking editing, like and stupid, like how the people are like jumping off this trampoline over a 6-foot wall. Why aren't the zombies going over the 6-foot wall to get them? They're climbing the side of the fucking house. Like, what the fuck? Like, pay attention to those details. Zombies. And that's like,
why are the zombies not doing a musical number in a fucking musical?
I second that. I would have loved to see.
If you want to talk to me about like zombie behaviors and what we expect of zombies, there's no expectation of that.
Here's the thing,
know what zombies would do.
Now to be fair, if when the real zombie apocalypse does hit, I'm just going to let you know that none of the zombies are going to be singing, and you damn well better believe I'm going to be singing a song as I go and kill zombies. So I'm just letting you know. I think that's very real to life.
What would you sing? I want to know what you would sing. Give us a little taste.
I've thought of on my kill list is "Don't Stop Believing," "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor," another one bites the dust.
Everyone's going to be singing that. That's.
I didn't say that they were unique. I just said that these are things that I.
You don't want to be a hack in the zombie apocalypse. Come on,
I'd be running around going, "Feed me." Does it have to be human? Feed me. Does it have to be mine?
Just do the whole cast list of Little Shop of Horrors. That'd be great.
Yeah. See?
I like it. I'm with you.
Suddenly,
let's all make zombie apocalypse playlists.
Are standing beside me.
I'm gonna sing "Time of the Season" by the Zombies and just blend in.
Oh God!
Because I assume that's what they'd be singing. So.
All right.
Anyway,
let's put it to a vote, Kyle.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for just for the cocktail waitress. I'm gonna go for Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse.
You're on my list, fine.
That's
on
fine.
My fucking list.
I'm okay.
Welcome to the list.
Oh shit!
Don't worry, there's plenty of people
and that's
there.
Capital.
Tom.
And the Apocalypse. You can just put me down for all 4 votes because I'm done voting.
Andrew,
it's settled.
Anna and the Apocalypse, especially because. And we didn't talk about this enough, but I want to emphasize these actors sang and danced and actually
Do we know that?
And loved.
Yeah, they were the singers.
Okay.
Gabe.
Well, what do you think I'm going to do?
If
Tom is already saying up front, all 4 for Anna, what do you think I'm going to do?
All right.
Battle lines have been drawn.
They have. For the record,
you can tell by the last round, I just don't want to be yelled at by Gabe.
I have never been intimidating before. You should be afraid. I might kind of get to like it.
My song is "Immigrant Song" by Led Zeppelin. Yep. I'm just gonna be screaming at the top of my lungs.
You don't want to have to do it.
And Run for the Hills by
You can't sing that. That's too high for you.
Oh, I can do it.
Do it.
I can do it
right now.
No. Scout's Guide features adult film star Missy Martinez as a female police officer whose uniform gets caught in a fence and flashes the scouts.
I didn't.
I recognize it. Paul Kaye,
I thought it was funny when he grabbed him, and then he ran away, and he said, "I don't think they were real."
Yeah. Paul Kaye, plays...
How weird the cold tits have to be. Cold tits. Ew.
Who plays Headmaster Savage, is killed by the zombies near the end of the film. Kaye is most famous for his betrayal of Thoros of Myr on Game of Thrones.
The Red Priest.
A character who is also killed by a zombie, albeit a zombie bear. All right.
Yeah,
I thought his beard was awful.
His beard
the only
is
thing I didn't like.
wiry.
Really,
it
looks so fake. It looks so awful.
I don't know how he eats with that soup strainer on his lip either.
In a movie that relies so much on makeup, like a zombie movie, like they can't do a convincing beard.
All right, let's move on to our third round, which is directing.
The directing in Anna the Apocalypse is absolutely perfect because they pay attention to little details and things like physics and
the details, like the uninteresting cinematography.
I didn't interrupt you, Dick. Look, so here, look. When one of the problems with the zombie movies, when you're watching them, like there's this like suspension of disbelief, okay? And you have to decide how high you're going to dial it up. Are you going to crank it up to 10 and be like, yeah, I could think people could hit that trampoline and jump over the wall? Sure, I think that's possible. And yes, with zombie movies, there's a certain level of disbelief, but there's some things where you're just like, what? Like, you have to keep it. You have to, when you're making it, you have to rein it in a little bit. You can't just go crazy for crazy's sake because you start to lose the audience. And I feel like Anna and the Apocalypse, like, really like paid attention to little tiny details. And I didn't catch myself once watching it going, like, what? Oh shit, we lost Mike. That was creepy. And and that was one of the things that I thought that it did really, really well. And like I said, when I was watching Anna and the Apocalypse, it didn't play like a typical zombie movie. And all of the bad things that are associated with zombie movies, the bad acting and the bad script and the people with really shitty motivations, like, what are you doing? And none of that ever happened when I was watching Anna and the Apocalypse. So, and dare I say, I don't like zombie movies, but I liked this one. So, I don't know. I mean, that's really all I have to say. I think the camera work was really great. The choreography was really fun. I like, is it Brand New Day is the song? They're walking down the street. I really like. But again, those two songs that come up after they realize the zombie stuff. And I left my notes at work, sorry, but the two songs immediately following Brand New Day I thought were clunky, and they hit a point where they're not really sure how are we going to combine musical numbers and zombies. But they do then they kind of do the smart thing because they kind of pull back on the musical numbers. I think the movie's more music heavy in the first part than the second, so that was kind of wise. But yeah, I don't know. And I thought I thought the acting was all pretty good. So, but that was the previous category. If I run out the clock, Gabe can't say anything.
Oh. Are you filibustering?
Really?
I would now like to read from Green Eggs
and
Ham.
You think
Gabe cares about the clock?
Stop me from saying what I want to say?
Gabe cares about the clock. He has proven week after week that he does not care about the clock or the round time.
Week after week.
What's clock?
Or what Mike has to say.
Clock?
I mean, it just...
Do I care? I don't care. I will continue.
So let me get my 3 words in here before we get Gabe a chance to rebuttal. Anna and the Apocalypse, I feel like, did a really good job with probably what was a small budget and probably some newer talent. I thought they chose good takes. They got the character motivations pretty spot on, with the exception of the headmaster, which just baffled me. And you kind of have to just make that leap that he's lost his mind. But he's a real one-note character. He goes from asshole to crazy. And that was kind of a human protagonist, I suppose you need in every zombie film, I guess. At least they feel like you need that. Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse, I thought, had fine cinematography. It was very greenish and very kind of dark in places. I don't know if we talk about the editing and directing, but I thought the editing felt a bit off at times in Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse. They would hang on things a little too long or cut away too quick or choose what I felt were like the wrong shots. But that's just personal preference, I suppose.
No, that's a filmmaker's eye you got there, Kyle. Filmmaker's eye.
Well,
yeah,
see,
don't fall for it, Kyle.
Now I feel like a kid in court, and I got to choose between my parents because they both want me to say something, and I just want to hear I'm a good boy. That's all I want to hear. So
you're a good boy, Kyle.
I'll just do whatever makes
get some ice cream, Kyle.
Ice cream! I love ice cream. Look at me. I love ice cream.
You want that dump truck you've been eyeing?
No, I do love the way they go toot 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 when they back up. It's so cool.
I love the way you go toot toot toot, Carl. Kyle.
Carl. You called me Carl. Gabe, I'm in your
love you, Kyle.
Firmly.
He doesn't love you. He doesn't even know your name.
The apocalypse.
I love you, Kyle.
You're the drunk dad in court who gets the kid taken away. Doesn't even know his kid's name.
Come back, Carl. Come back.
I should have named you Carl. Anyway.
I love you more, Kylie.
Oh.
Kyle.
Well, I put myself in the middle of this, and now I'm reaping the benefits. Being disrespected from both sides. I'll do what Andrew wants.
Let's go get that dump truck.
All right.
That's
it here.
And cut. We don't even need another round, Mike. We're done.
My recommendation to everyone is to listen to this one again.
If they can hack it, I don't know. I'm not sure people could survive. It might be more dangerous than a zombie apocalypse. I'm not sure. Quite contentious.
Gabe, you have 5.5 minutes. Go.
Fill it.
Say anything in this category?
It's all right. You just do your thing.
You sound kind of low, Andrew. I can't hear
you. Do your thing. It's okay.
I don't know what my thing is anymore. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me that we have such differing opinions on these. I feel like the cinematography was so much stronger in Scout's Guide. I just feel like, okay, there were some weird editing things, but I feel like a lot of the editing stuff was like in action scenes where there was kind of a jump cut, like somebody would fall down the stairs and then you jump to them there, and then it would jump again to that, like a closer shot of them or something. And I feel like, well, that was just like, it was a pacing choice as opposed to like a angle choice and that kind of thing. And I felt like, again, I felt like Anna really had the potential to be something really fun and cool, because it's like, who has seen a musical zombie movie? But I felt like it felt short in so many ways. I don't know. I wasn't really super compelled by the choreography or the shot choices. It was just kind of like, let's make sure we get this so that we don't, so that we have something to put on the screen. But I don't know. It is interesting to me that we have such differing opinions, because I feel like a lot of times we do kind of fall into the Cine agree category, and that we tend to agree on things. And it's so weird to me that we're disagreeing on such these two movies in particular for some reason. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure any of the directing was like really, like stellar out of this world on them. But I felt they were both competently directed. I've been hard on Anna. I enjoyed Anna, but almost immediately when I started watching Scout's Guide, I was like, I was laughing more. I was more engaged. I just felt like the pacing was a little bit better. I was just more engaged in watching it. I was more interested. And I know, Andrew, that Anna is. You have suggested that we do this over time, and that you feel pretty strongly about this movie. So, no, you don't. You don't feel strongly.
I feel strongly about both of these movies.
I feel strongly about both these movies.
I picked these movies. We'll get into overall, a little bit more in depth on that. Out of choreography, dancing, all that, getting that directed, being able to do takes and takes of that and make it seamless. Sometimes is really hard. Sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's an editor's magic to make it all work together. So there are those moments that I felt they did a really nice job. Scout's Guide, the ending scene when they're actually at the dance and they're fighting all the zombies, minus the fact that there was a lot of quick cuts, which I hate in all action movies in any way, shape, or form, where it takes like 7 cuts for 1 second of fight footage. Minus that part of it, there was some really fun action sequences in that entire dance scene where they're shooting everything and they have all these random things they got from the hardware store. And it was so much fun to watch that scene, and all the lights are going on. And I felt that had really good, it was a really good action sequence exactly for the movie that it was doing. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't up over the top. And then some of the lines are just fantastic when it comes to that ending with the bomb and everything else. And so there are moments in both that are just extraordinary, that are so much fun. I would say that some of, specifically we talk about cinematography. There are cinematic shots in Anna that are just beautiful. Like, there are just some really cool shots. The framing, the backgrounds, they did a really nice job compared to Scout's Guide. I think that it was a typical shot movie. There wasn't anything I was like, oh, that was an amazing shot, but it wasn't incompetent. Like, I didn't find any incompetencies in the shooting or the editing. But there were some just really beautiful shots in Anna that I think stood out a little bit more. That's my, I guess that's my directing. I don't want to bleed too far in.
I feel there was a lot of incompetent editing in Scout's Guide. I'm sorry, but a lot of that I think falls on the director. I just feel like there's some sloppy directing, and he was trying to piece together stuff that they didn't have. And
I agree. Like I said, the big climax of the movie, there were so many quick cuts in that ending fight scene that that kind of stuff makes me sick. I hate it, and it feels like they didn't actually choreograph the fight well, and so they just saved it in editing.
Right,
but saving that, there is a lot of really cool, fun stuff in those shots. Like, a lot of the slow-mo and stuff is a lot of fun and made me laugh. Mm-hmm. So I can't take away from that either.
So here, look, when I watch Scout's Guide, I feel like they're like, so when they sit down and they're going to make this movie, and they itemized it, and it was, I think item 1 was, we're going to make a zombie movie. And item 1A is, we're going to make a fun movie. Okay. And there's no denying that they were trying to have a really fun movie here. But I feel like Anna the Apocalypse sat down and were like, number one, we're going to make a good movie. We don't have as much money as they do, but we're going to make sure that the shots look good. They're framed properly. We're shooting coverage so that we don't have, weird editing to deal with like you usually get with a zombie movie. And I just feel like the most important thing to the Anna people were make it good, So.
All right.
I think I just switched all your votes. No, you're welcome.
Put it to vote. Tom, I already know where you're going.
Thank you for not making me vote again.
Andrew.
I'm going to go with Anna and the Apocalypse.
Okie dokie. Gabe, I'm guessing I already know where that's going to go.
Okay.
Right?
Why are you suppressing his vote, Mike? Let him vote.
He's not.
Don't worry. I'm going to mail it in.
He's not suppressing my vote like our legislature is.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I took advantage of early voting, and I voted back in the third round. Or second.
Right. And
Kyle.
You know what, Tom? I agree with you. We should have that opportunity. We should be able to vote as early as we want.
Can I vote?
Mike strikes me as the kind of guy that's going to be like, hey, no voting before the third round.
Can I vote for next month's movies ahead of time?
You have to mail it in.
Yeah,
I will mail
by
these
the time
to Mike.
that we do the show.
Just for the joke, I will mail my.
Okay,
my,
if you do, I'll post it.
Remind me, what's next month?
Nothing. I need a vote from Kyle for this month.
Yes. For the choreography that I enjoyed, I am going to choose Anna and the Apocalypse.
All right. What point did I lose control? Anna has 3 versions. The USA cut. The USA cut, which is 93 minutes long, the UK international cut, which is 98 minutes long, and the festival cut, which is 108 minutes long.
I like it, but I don't know if it needs to be longer. The one thing I noticed was like all zombie movies need to be like 91 to 94 minutes. That's the rule. You can't make zombie movies that are longer than that.
The use of a trampoline to escape the zombies is from the classic Super Nintendo game Zombies Ate My Neighbors, where the main characters use trampolines to jump from garden to garden.
Oh, so they stole that idea. That's cool. Real original, guys.
They referenced
it. All right. 4th round, overall.
Once again, I want to point out that I picked these movies because, yes, I have been wanting to do both of these movies. I've recommended both of these movies. I enjoy both of these movies. I laugh very hard. Both times that I've watched these movies, I have seen both of them many, many times. I know the music from the songs for Anna and the Apocalypse. I know a lot of the lines. I have to say that one of the best cold open movies was Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Every time, all I can think of is the janitor and he's clapping along and dancing. Oh my gosh. The first time I saw it, I was like, holy crap, this is fantastic. There's a lot of American Pie-ness in Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. There's a lot of kitschy, funny, goofy stuff. I think the most that I related with it is the fact that out of my group of friends, I picked basically every single person. I have that friend. The scene when they're running to the police station and it's super quiet and the one guy runs into the police car or runs into just the car and sets the car alarm off. I know who that is. I know exactly who that is in my group of friends. So there was a lot of that. There was a lot of stuff that was like, the cat thing was really funny. And then it kind of went on for a while and it was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, we get it. Haha. It was nice to see Cloris Leachman in a movie. She always plays really bizarre parts. So there were moments, and it's one of those things where like I can watch American Pie or Shaun of the Dead or a lot of other comedies, Airplane, and I know the jokes are coming and I still laugh. and I still find them humorous. Anna and the Apocalypse is like watching, a Little Shop of Horrors. It is one of those things that I know the music. It's fun to watch. I know everything that's coming, but I still enjoy watching it. I still hum along. I can still see myself singing one of those songs for karaoke. And, we talked a little bit about the music. One of the things I want to bring up, and I don't know how musically inclined all of our listeners are, but I want to say that there are some amazing harmonies and there is some amazing mixing of music actually in Anna Apocalypse. Some of the songs and the way that they mix the two different parts together and they have different tempos going. I mean, it's brilliant. It's really hard to write music like that. So I really enjoyed that. I think the biggest connection for me with Anna and the Apocalypse was it felt like a movie that I would make. It felt like it would be something that I would sit down with my friends and say, I have this movie. I want to do all the things right. I want to do X, Y, and Z because I think it would be fun, but I'm going to try a couple things over here. And we raised, $10,000 and we got a bunch of our friends together and we're like, okay, let's do it. and that's what it felt like to me. It felt very almost indie, almost stagey because that's what they had to work with. And I think that was part of the luster of enjoying that movie. It was, it's a zombie musical. Like, name another zombie musical out there. and I think that really brings in a lot of that love for that film by itself. Both of these have moments. Both of these have good and bad moments. Overall, this is a really hard for me to pick. I was telling Mike I probably should have hosted so I didn't have to vote because this is really tough for me because like I said, I really enjoy both of these movies. I would recommend both of these movies to anyone because they are enjoyable to watch. They are super fun. That's my rundown. I'm super glad that you guys enjoyed both of these movies to a point. I'm glad that there is so much debate over these because I was not expecting that. I, in fact, was expecting Tom to be like, oh, it's a musical. I'm out.
I do. I hate musicals and I hate zombie movies. So the fact that I like Anna and the Apocalypse is weird. So
and that to me, I think it's really cool that I brought something to the table, something new on both of these movies, on something that you guys either loved or hated, and I think that's pretty cool because, like I said, I've been recommending these movies for a long time to you guys.
I know, and I internally groaned every time you brought them up. It was just like zombie movies. Oh my god, fucking kill me.
So I'm really glad that there was, that these actually sparked this kind of debate, and also that you guys actually have picked sides because. For me, I'm hardcore down the middle. When it comes to the technical stuff, there are some technical things. Overall, it's really hard for me to pick one of these two movies. So,
yeah. And I've been really hard on Anna and the Apocalypse, but I have to say that I did enjoy it. So don't get me wrong that I didn't enjoy it.
You said
I watched that one first, and then I watched Scout's Guide, and I found I was more entertained by Scout's Guide. Personally.
So yeah, we usually talk about music quite a bit, and I feel like that's almost an unfair comparison between these movies because was there music in Scout's Guide? It wasn't memorable to me, whereas it's a very big part of Anna and the Apocalypse.
It was all
remember AC/DC?
It was all
oh yes.
All of the music was mostly Dianetic in Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. So, because at the beginning he's listening to the music, but yet the audience can still hear it. And so, I mean, there was music, and a lot of it was classic, or when I say classic, I should say more like classic rock with like 80s and 90s to pop songs that were popular when this song actually was made, or when the movie was actually made. So,
and let me just say, as someone who listens to very loud headphones, Anna would definitely be able to hear all that stuff still going on around her. So, it was a really fun scene But yeah, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief. But I think you do in any musical, because you have to accept a world where it's okay to just burst into music at any given time when something gets emotional or.
And so it was a little bit of an homage too at the same time. Yeah, and I think we all recognize that.
Sure. And I mean, I give Anna and the Apocalypse a lot of credit for being very original. I've never seen a movie like it. There are a lot of good premises that you can fit a musical around. This is not one I ever thought they'd do. And to be something new in the zombie genre that has been played out for so long, I think deserves a special mention. Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse was very funny in parts. I was not expecting it to be so crude. I thought it was like going to be like a PG-13 teenagers in a zombie apocalypse movie, and boy was I wrong. I was surprised at how raunchy it was, and that's the lane it chose. And I thought it made a couple really good jokes. And to me, when you can get someone to groan at a joke, I appreciate that. So when he's grabbing onto that old man's dick and hanging from the window, and you get people going, "Oh, what the fuck!" Like, I appreciate that you can make someone do that, and you have the no pun intended, the balls to go for that kind of joke. But it's difficult to put these two movies up against each other because I think they're very different in spirit, but they both try to do very different things in the zombie genre, which has been played out. So for that, I give them both credit.
Now, oh shoot, what was I going to say? Oh, did you watch the R-rated version of Scout's Guide, or did you watch the not rated?
I watched whatever one was on Plex.
Okay,
so
that was the unrated.
Yeah, so I would assume the R-rated probably didn't have the dick rip joke in it. That seems like something you cut out to keep an R.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
I watched it on Amazon, and there was the dick.
Yeah, and there
you go.
So the boob joke is not quite like that in the R-rated version.
That's the one they decided to tone down? Wow. Yeah. Kind of surprised by that.
Well, it's the
I guess I don't know. I haven't seen both, so I don't know.
How long he hangs onto that guy's wiener. I mean, it goes on and on. It looks like a gummy worm. Ugh. But I will tell you the zombie going down on the girl joke was pretty funny too.
I was gonna ask. No one's mentioned the oral sex scene.
Yeah. Oh, your mouth is so cold.
And you know what? We should have seen that coming when we saw that zombie earlier in the movie.
With his tongue hanging out?
Yeah, I was like, oh, and then when she said you can go down on me or whatever, I was like, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen now. But yeah, we should have seen that coming earlier.
Yeah, and then he bites her vagina to turn her into a zombie, which is something I've never seen before. Never seen
right. You don't hear about
vaginal bite. No, you don't.
I stand corrected. I'm sorry. I Scout's Guide did bring some new stuff to the table, literally.
It did.
Some stuff that nobody ever thought to do, whether they should have or not.
Yeah. Genital. What would you call that? What do you call
genital
it?
transmission?
Get turned.
Zombalingus.
Zombalingus. There you go, Tom.
Perfect.
I like it. You should have written either one of these. I like it better already.
Okay, you guys ready to put it to a vote? Let's start it off with Andrew.
Can I do half and half? Is that allowed? Can I
no.
split my vote?
No.
Do me last. I want to think.
All right.
Okay, Gabe.
Oh. Well, I think I'm going to have to stick with my stance throughout the show and go with Scout's Guide.
All right. It was already in there. That was a formality.
Right. Yeah,
Kyle.
it was. Totally was.
That was a formality. I want to thank you for letting me get the dump truck, Dad Tom, and Gabe. I want to spend weekends with you at least every other weekend. But I definitely need to vote for Anna and the Apocalypse.
Somebody's getting whipped cream. Somebody's getting some whipped cream.
Fill my dump truck with ice cream. Fill my dump truck with ice cream.
You got it, kiddo. You got it.
Gosh.
You can
I'm so happy.
I think we all know who Kyle's actual dad is.
You stay out of this, Mike.
You had your shot, Mike. You had your shot.
Tom.
That's right.
Tom already got you down. Andrew.
Even though I love both of these films pretty much equally, I could, like I said, watch either of them. I'm going to go with Anna and the Apocalypse.
All right.
That doesn't mean I don't love you, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. I'm just letting you know.
Mile marker scene during Scout's Guide shows Haddonfield as a nearby city. Haddonfield is a setting for the movie Halloween in 1978. In Anna, one of the posts seen in the hashtag evac selfie bit was from Ash Campbell, a mashup of Ash Williams and Bruce Campbell from the Evil Dead franchise.
Oh, and the homages keep rolling.
Yeah. You guys were talking about budget. So I can tell you this. Scout's Guide had $15 million estimated budget. Anna, there is no information on budget. Everything that I've found has stated that it was an indie budget, but it does not say what the budget was.
I thought I saw somewhere it said 9.
There's an article out there, but the article makes it sound like the movie it was talking about in the same opening weekend or same box office weekend, whatever, was the one that had a $9 million budget.
I thought I saw something. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. I thought I saw something as low as 300 and some thousand.
It may have been, but it's worldwide. It only made $673,500, and I shouldn't say only. I mean, that's more than I've ever made with a film.
But it has. Oh, go ahead.
Scout's Guide made $16,137,000, so it made back $1 million, and that's not even counting, what they spent for press and everything else.
The overhead.
Yeah.
And I would also say, it's kind of the Napoleon Dynamite thing. Napoleon Dynamite was low budget. I know a lot of people opening weekend, they were just like, this movie's stupid. And then people watched it second and third and fourth time, and they were like, this movie's hilarious.
Everyone I took to see that movie hated it. And I walked out crying because I was laughing. And then all of a sudden you started seeing Vote for Pedro shirts and everything. I'm like, what's going on? I thought this movie was stupid.
Yeah. So I would say that there's a good chance that Anna falls under a similar, it didn't do really well, but if you notice, it's slowly increased in popularity. And so I have a feeling that as people watched it a second and third time, they realized how good it really was.
Right. All right. Let's go on to recommendations. We start off with Gabe.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to recommend that you go back and watch a classic. Well, I don't know. I'm old. I think I might be the oldest person on this podcast. So a classic from my childhood, and watch the Michael Jackson Thriller video. If you want to see what a zombie musical should look like, go back and watch the Michael Jackson Thriller video. It'll only take you 15 minutes, and it's fantastic. It's really great. It's really well done. So, yeah. And I remember as a child on MTV, it was a big deal. There was like a premiere and everything.
Yeah.
And like we sat, because we may have had a VCR, maybe at the time, but maybe we didn't know how to set it. Like we waited. We sat in front of the TV and waited for the premiere of the Michael Jackson Thriller video. And I'll tell you what, unfortunately, I think that the quality isn't what we're used to today as far as the video quality, but it is still really well done and really, really excellent. So that's my recommendation.
I was roller skating, and I remember they put it on all the TVs, and we stopped roller skating and sat down on the rink to watch.
Really? Yeah. Quite fantastic. And you know what? It's interesting how time changes these things and how it impacts our perception of certain things. But I think that there's a part of us that needs to get past that a little bit and just enjoy it for what it is, and not overanalyze the whole, Michael Jackson kind of like history kind of thing. I don't know. It's a little bit weird. I have to admit, when you see it, it's a little bit weird when you think about what we know about Michael Jackson now, or what we think about Michael Jackson now. But if you can get beyond that, the whole dancing zombies part is fantastic.
Cinesmack does not endorse Michael Jackson or Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss didn't do anything wrong.
Certain Dr. Seuss books, anyway, apparently.
And he said he was. I'm not fucking going into this. Why the fuck would... Shut up.
Kyle, recommendation.
Just finish the fucking show.
Tom's ready. He's done.
I'm done.
I'm going to give a very mild recommendation, which I sometimes do, only for one aspect of a film, and that is a film that was streaming on HBO Max and was in theaters at the same time, called The Little Things, with Denzel Washington, who is Gabe's favorite actor.
Yep.
And Rami Malek and Jared Leto, who I was probably an unpopular opinion, but I like Jared Leto. I'll give it a recommendation for this. It does some things in a crime drama movie that I've never seen done before. It plays with the idea of guilt and innocence and right and wrong in ways that I've never seen done before. So I think for that, if you want to explore that and you're really into the crime genre of film, it's probably worth your time to watch. I don't think it's streaming anymore on HBO Max. You have to find another place to watch it. But The Little Things, I think it's interesting. I would really like to hear what other film buffs think about that movie, because I think it explores some themes. Some of it is very trope-like, and it's the same kind of thriller you've seen. But it deals with some aspects of guilt and innocence and things like that in ways that I've not seen done before. So.
All right. Thank you, Kyle. Tom?
I want to recommend a Sandra Bullock movie. She's a journalist, and then she has to go into rehab, and she is unconscious for 4 weeks, and then she wakes up as Cillian Murphy and in London, and she has to face the zombie apocalypse all on her own as Cillian Murphy. So I want to recommend the Danny Boyle classic, because if there's a genre we're doing, and Danny Boyle has made one, I'm going to recommend it. So she should watch 28 Days first, the Sandra Bullock movie, and then watch 28 Days Later and pretend it's all one character. Just get to the part where she goes into rehab and then pause it and then put in 28 Days Later. And it's...
Oh my God, that's classic.
It would win an
Oscar.
Mashup
28 Days or 28 Days Later?
Both. Well, both. Watch 28 Days until she goes into rehab, and then turn on 28 Days Later, and it's a metaphor for the struggles we all face.
I don't know if you watch The Office, but I thought that's the road you were going down, because Pam rents 28 Days Later thinking it's the Sandra Bullock movie. 28 days.
And then 28 weeks later.
Yeah.
28 Days Later is pretty amazing. I absolutely love it. So I have yet to bring myself to watch 28 Weeks Later. I really want to, but I don't like scary movies. So everybody says it's good.
Who directed that one? Do we know?
Danny Boyle handed it off to somebody else, but he was on set and directed some of the scenes. I thought they said he directed like the opening, like the first 10 minutes of it, but it's doopy-doopy-doo. Juan Carlos Fresnadillo.
I think that answers my question.
Yes. He also directed.
It wasn't Danny Boyle.
No, it was not Danny Boyle. But apparently he is. The only other thing I can see, he's directing the live action version of Sword in the Stone for Disney. So they must really like 28 Days Later or 28 Weeks Later. So.
All right, Andrew.
I'm going to go for a newer movie that was recently just released as well. It's a little out there. The story is quite mundane, but it is a fun action that is just so the story premise is just so bizarre, but it is so funny and so entertaining to watch. And the lead character, who also produced this movie, is Nicolas Cage, and he doesn't have one line in the entire movie. He says nothing, and he's the lead character, and that's Willy's Wonderland. And it is, you watch it, and you're just like, what is happening? And yet it is so fun and so just out there that it's just unbelievable. You want to see weird ways that kids die? Willy's Wonderland is just chalked right up in there. So it's a lot of fun. It's a very dark comedy. It's at least very entertaining. And like I said, Nicolas Cage didn't say a damn word in it. And I am not over exaggerating. He literally has 0 lines.
I've been wanting to watch it.
Oh my gosh. I was a little nervous because I was like, this is going to be really cheesy. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just amazing and wrong in so many ways.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. I'm pretty sure I've already recommended this one, but this film was actually made in Iowa, mainly around Cedar Rapids, and there were some scenes down south of Des Moines. It stars Timothy Oliphant, Rodna Mitchell, and Joe Anderson. It's called The Crazies. Since I don't watch a lot of horror films or anything like that, I really enjoyed this film. And I mean, I really like Timothy Oliphant, but that's the main reason that I wanted to watch it. And I wanted to watch it because it was made here in Iowa. So if you get a chance, check out The Crazies from 2010.
Very good movie.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little underrated.
I would agree. The only problem I ever had with that movie is the final shot when they're driving to driving to the Quad Cities.
I thought it was Cedar Rapids.
Cedar Rapids, and they're driving, and there's one road down the middle of this cornfield in a big city that looks like the Emerald City in the middle of a cornfield. And I'm like, this is what Hollywood thinks
Iowa. Yeah, thinks Iowa looks like. Yeah. That's true. All right, gonna poke the monkey.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your dead ears, please? Your musical numbers have defeated the zombies with your winner, Anna and the Apocalypse!
Well, 4 of those votes were Gabe, and 1 was me trying to get on Gabe's good side.
You're going to have to get on the good side, Kyle. You're already there.
Oh, thanks, baby.
And technically, my last vote was I really want to split it. So
10.5 to 5.5?
5.5.
I think this gives the impression that Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse is terrible. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think
I don't want to go there.
I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's as good.
I feel the voting properly reflects the quality of these two films, which is, I gotta say, I'm a firm believer in IMDb scores, and when we're setting these up, and Scout's Guide is actually like 0.3 point higher over Anna, which is, that's a pretty good margin. So normally that'd be enough for me to not even recommend them. So we're full of surprises here.
We are.
Part of that potentially could be not a lot of people like musicals either, because that is a stigma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, fuck the guys that go through IMDb voting every musical on there as a 1. Singing in the Rain, 1. Sound of Music, 1. American in Paris, 1.
I can't vote 0 stars, so I had to give it 1.
Umbrellas of Cherbourg.
I did it again, Chad. I gave it a 1.
Chad.
Fucking hate when they sing in these movies.
Pass me my monster, Kyle.
Kyle's got a bad rap the last few years. Kyle's show up like wearing Fox racing gear stuff and drinking Monster Energies, and I don't understand it. All the Kyles I know are fine, upstanding citizens.
All right, Andrew, where can people find you and get your song list for their Apocalypse?
Sure. The easiest place, just go out to Arizona Inc. Studios. That's Arizona INK Studios. We have all of our films out there, at least our shorts. And yeah, we have all of our links to our social media. We're not on Facebook anymore, so don't even bother. But we do have a Twitter and an Instagram account and YouTube where we have some of our other films that might not necessarily be on the website, and you can get links to all these wonderful podcasts out there as well, and you can see kind of what's going on with the studio. So,
all right, thanks, Andrew. Tom?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Twitter, but I don't. Nothing interesting happens on there. You shouldn't be on social media, honestly.
I believe all of us agree with this.
I mean, God damn it! If it wasn't such an efficient way to communicate with businesses and some of my friends, I would totally leave. But damn it all to hell.
Yep, I believe all of us agree with that. Kyle,
somebody needs to take a nail gun to the face of Facebook. Just be like, boom.
I'm gonna say you should go to YouTube and Google. Google. Don't Google on YouTube. I totally replaced search with Google as a verb in my vocabulary. Go to YouTube and search how it's made, and just watch videos about how things are made from the Science Channel.
Oh yeah,
it's a much better use of time than trying to communicate with me because I probably don't like you anyway.
Gabe.
But do you know how things were made?
Now I do. Sandwich cookies and tequila. And we started watching beef jerky and then realized we shouldn't be watching that while we were eating dinner because it involves a lot of raw meat being cut. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, my girlfriend it seems to want to watch Dr. Pol during dinner time.
Oh, God.
I don't know what Dr. Pol is.
Have you ever seen? Well, it's not what you think.
I got excited for a minute. That stuff is not on YouTube.
Yeah, he's a vet.
He's a Michigan vet, and trust me, you don't want to watch what he does for a living while you're eating dinner.
All right, so you can find Gabe on the next episode of Dr. Pol.
Right. It's a great show, but not during dinner. Not when you're eating. No, don't do it. When
you're eating.
Yeah. Anyway, if you want to, you can check out our 48-hour films on onegenomeshort.com. I'm kind of with Tom. I have a Twitter account and I have a Facebook account, but I don't really ever go there, which was brought very painfully to my attention earlier before the episode. Yeah. So don't go there. Go to onegenomeshort.com.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Social media is a cesspool of idiots, and I'm on it. So you can find me on Facebook. I very rarely ever go on Twitter. If you think Facebook is bad, just go to Twitter. But if you want to watch some of our films, just search, or as Kyle says, Google and YouTube, Southsider Studios, and you can watch some of our films there. We would appreciate it, though, if you could leave us a review on iTunes. That's how we get new listeners, or whatever podcasting service you use. It helps us reach new listeners and hopefully grow an audience and maybe make some money after 10 years of doing our podcast. If you like us, tell your friends. If you hate us, tell your enemies. You can contact us at cinesmack@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Just search Cinesmack. For April, we head out to the middle of the road as Blue Chips takes on the program. Only a couple people will get that. For Gabe, Kyle, Andrew, Tom, and myself, thanks for listening, and go catch a flick.
You'd tell us if we were making money off this podcast, wouldn't you, Mike?
Nope.
This has been a test of the Southsider Studios podcast system. This was only a test. If this were a true lack of entertainment, your head would explode. Go to iTunes and subscribe to our feed. Just search Southsider Studios.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. Everybody needs some variety in life. That's what I love about Chumba Casino. They know how to keep things fresh and exciting. All their games are free to play, like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire. You can claim free daily login bonuses, too. And they release new games every week. So spice things up with ChumbaCasino.com now for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.